Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Wait a minute, girl, can you slow down? Wait a minute, girl, what's the rush now? I wanna introduce myself to you. My name is one-on-one, got you to prefer now. I like the way you put your fists together. I like the way you do your hair in the morning. I see why all the boys want you, girl.
YouTube, ladies and gentlemen out there listening, what's going on? It's your boy Juan Gotti here, and welcome into episode 21 of the Top of the Morning Podcast, morning show. I am coming to you live at noon, and that's only because obviously that means I have something to take care of in the morning time. But today is a huge episode because round 1 of the NFL draft was insane, man. It was insane. A lot of things went down that you can't even script. Trades, players being selected too early, players falling out of place that you don't even expect. Man, so much happened last night. This is probably one of the better drafts as far as like suspense and what we didn't expect. Man. I was making sure the sound was good. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into opening statements. Opening statements is going to be brought to you by the night 1 of the draft. As I stated, night 1 of the draft was crazy, man. It was crazy. You got things kicked off with Bryce Young going to Carolina, as I mocked him to. I know a lot of people thought CJ Stroud was going to be the pick, but I had it right with that. Then CJ Stroud 2 to the Texans. And after that, I want to say that was the only 2 picks that I got right. I think so on the night. The Texans take CJ Stroud, and then they double back, trade up from 12 with the Cardinals. I said the Cardinals should trade back, man. They should trade back in this draft because they already have their quarterback. Kyler Murray's going to be out for the first half of the season. So they're not going to be that good this year. So they're going to be picking what's inside the top 10 twice because I think the Texans ended up giving the Cardinals the first round pick next year. I don't know. Let me actually go look at that compensation. But it was something insane. So the Texans traded all the way up from 12 to then come to 3. So they're picking back to back. And they select edge rusher Will Anderson Jr. out of Alabama. So they get their franchise quarterback and pick 2. Then they get their a cornerstone on that defense, edge rusher and Will Anderson, back-to-back picks, man. DeMeco Ryans came right into Houston and made a bang, bro. I'm super excited for both Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, man. I hope both of these fellas end up having successful careers. But man, what about what the Texans did, bro? That was amazing. And then I don't think they had to give up 33 either, so I think they still have 33. And the Cardinals, good move by them trading back. Then at 4, you had the Indianapolis Colts taking Anthony Richardson, quarterback from Florida. And I was saying I thought Will Levis was going to be the pick. I felt like Will Levis was more of a Colt. and especially since Anthony Richardson's gonna have to take a year, and I didn't think they had a guy on their roster that could, hold it down for a year, keep them competitive. But apparently they think Gardner Minshew can be that, and he's okay. He's okay. I don't expect them to do much. I expect them to potentially finish third in the AFC South. I think I think the Jaguars are obviously better than them. I still think the Titans have a philosophy that will give them more wins than the Colts. But needless to say, Anthony Richardson is the most talented quarterback in this draft. They got the most talented quarterback in the draft, and if they can get that out of Anthony Richardson, they will be good. They will be good. They can potentially have the best quarterback in this draft. It's just going to take some time. Is the Colts fan base going to have time with Anthony Richardson as he goes through his wound, licks his wounds, and goes through the ups and downs? Are the Colts fans? And I genuinely think so. I don't think this would be a different situation where if he was going to a bigger market, it could be a problem. Like if he was going to New York, Dallas, even Washington here in Washington, Boston. Like if he was going to a major city where their fan base, like Philly or something, where their fan base has no patience and they're hardcore, I think it could potentially ruin his growth. But him going to a media market that ain't that huge as far as the sports world goes, they're pretty chill. I don't really have any bad news about the Colts or the Pacers or the Indiana Hoosiers. Like their media, I don't hear anything about their media being press. So if the Colts fan base could roll with Anthony Richardson and go to battle with him and let him learn, be prepared that this could be a year of Gardner Minshew, they should be good. Because again, he has the highest ceiling in the draft, higher than Bryce Young, higher than C.J. Stroud, higher than Will Levis, higher than Hendon Hooker. So with the 5th overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks took Devin Witherspoon. I was super surprised at this pick because I did not expect Devin Witherspoon to go this early. I'm not surprised that he was the first corner off the board, but at 5, I did not expect that, man. The Seahawks are building something special in that secondary, man. They already got Tariq Woolen, okay, who should have, potentially won Defensive Rookie of the Year. They have Kobe Bryant. Then now you add in Devin Witherspoon, and then you getting Jamal Adams back, bro. That secondary is going to be tough. That secondary is going to be amazing. I think they're going to have a really, really good time. And they struggled with defense last year. And they got Quandre Diggs, who's gonna come back healthy too. That secondary is amazing, bro. But they struggled with defense last year. Seattle couldn't stop a nosebleed. What didn't they win? Didn't they end up winning versus the whatchamacall? Didn't they end up winning versus the Lions last year, like 48-45, because they couldn't stop anything? I think that's a good pick for them, bro. You're getting Devin Witherspoon, who's hard-nosed, who ain't going to come in there and play, who's going to come in there and be ready to work, and he already got a CB1 across from him. That's a good pick for Seattle, man. And then at pick 6, the Detroit Lions trade back with the Arizona Cardinals, and they select Purse Johnson, tackle out of Ohio State, and they get a blindside protector for their guy Kyler Murray whenever he returns. They sent number 3. The Cardinals had sent number 3. They sent number 3 overall. And that's what they did, moving down 9 spots in the deal with the Texans, then traded back up with the Lions, jumping from 12 to 6 for Johnson, whose experience playing both guard and tackle means he can step in at right tackle. His powerful blocking up front will help protect Kyler Murray and boost the running game. The net effect of the 2 trades is the Cardinals picked up a 2024 first-round pick and still landed the player in number 6. And I think they got the Texans first-round pick. I could be mistaken, but I think they do. And the Texans potentially won't be that good this year. So, like I said, the Cardinals could be picking top 10 in 2 times this year because they're not going to be that much good without Kyler Murray. And then at number 7. Number 7. Is that number 7? The Raiders took Tyree Wilson, edge out of Texas Tech. And to be honest with you, bro, I thought this was another landing spot for Will Levis, bro. I thought this would have been a perfect landing spot for him too, because again, they need a quarterback there in Las Vegas. They got Jimmy G, to be the starter for the next couple of years. But what about the future? When are you going? The thing is, with Jimmy Garoppolo, you're not going to be drafting top 5, top 10. He's going to be average at best. So you're going to be in the middle rounds at least with Jimmy G. So with having Jimmy Garoppolo giving you that result, you're not going to be in a position like you potentially was at 7 anymore to draft a guy like Levis. Now, Levis ended up falling out of the first round. So, I mean, now looking back at it, it's probably not that, he's probably not that good on a lot of people's boards. He wasn't that high on a lot of people's boards. But, I mean, they could swoop in and potentially take him in a second. But I just thought that they would have wanted to address the quarterback position. But at 7, or 8 rather, the Atlanta Falcons, they took Bijan Robinson, and I was so surprised at this. Not because I don't think he's good. I think Bijan Robinson is gonna be amazing. I just didn't expect him to go this high. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not expect Bijan Robinson to go that high. But it's not a bad pick at all. It's a great pick. But they did have another back beside, I forgot his name, but it was Cordell Patterson. I think they had a rookie that ran for over 1,000 yards last year or close to. And then now you adding Bijan Robinson to that backfield. So you got them 3. You got Drake London. You got Kyle Pitts. You building up something there nice for Desmond Ridder. And then at 9, the Eagles, man. I hate giving the Eagles credit, bro, but they draft well every single year, man. Every single year the Eagles draft well, man. As the Eagles, they draft D lineman Jalen Carter at 8 or at 9. Sorry, they trade up first of all from 10, get Jalen Carter at 9, and now they got the Georgia wall. We got the Bama wall in Washington. They got the Georgia wall in Philly with Jordan Davis last year in the first round, Jalen Carter this year in the first round. They got the Georgia wall, and he's going to be a beast, man. He's going to be a beast. Number 10, the Chicago Bears. They traded back, obviously, from number 1. Then they traded back from 9 to 10 with Philly, and they selected Donnell Wright, tackle who could be versatile. And I really like that pick for them because they needed somebody that could protect Justin Fields' blind side. I believe he was sacked 55 times last year. 55 times I believe he was sacked last year. So that's a good move by them. Then at 11, the Tennessee Titans select tackle Peter Squansky out of Northwestern. He's an interior offensive lineman. I think he can play a little bit of tackle too. A lot of people believe he's the best offensive lineman in the draft. It's just kind of like the Titans made a boring pick. But, I mean, in the AFC South, boring doesn't get you wins. You don't got to be excited. You don't got to drop 30, 40 a game. But, I mean, I feel like they had other holes. Like, I feel like a receiver could have been good there to go alongside Treylon Burks. But they have a philosophy there in Tennessee. So with the 12 overall pick, this is probably the worst pick of the draft, first round for me. And again, not that the player is bad, it's the value that's the issue. They select Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. I'm like, wow, bro, what? All this talk, they need a corner. They just drafted Jeff. They just traded Jeff Okuda. I know they got Cam Sutton now because they traded for him. I mean, they signed him in free agency. But you need to continue to build that secondary. That Lions defense let up so many points last year. Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, I understand the pick as far as why him. I just don't agree with the timing. Like, if they was at like pick 20, or if they used pick 18 on Jahmyr Gibbs, probably still a little too early, but it would be understanding. They don't trust DeAndre Swift because he can't stay healthy. It's not the talent with DeAndre Swift, it's the fact that he can't stay healthy. So they could definitely be shopping him. It's already talks to them potentially shopping him. So it definitely could be talks that happen. But I just felt like that was too early of a pick for Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm not gonna lie. So with the 13th overall pick, the Green Bay Packers, they select Lucas Van Ness, edge out of Iowa. It was pretty solid pick. Not nothing that's gonna blow your socks off. He's not this dominant, like, quickness, athletic freak. He's your typical Iowa edge rusher, you know, and going to Green Bay could be good for him. So with the 14th overall pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they traded up from 17 and New England went back to 17. And the Steelers, they got their tackle of the future to pair with their young quarterback of the future and Kenny Pickett. Broderick Jones out of Georgia. So that's a good pick for them. With 15, the Jets, they decided to go with Will McDonald, edge out of Iowa State. I thought this is another team that could take a corner at the moment because of the value of Christian Gonzalez still surprisingly being there at 15. I thought they would have taken tackle potentially because of to protect Aaron Rodgers' blind side, but I mean obviously Mekhi Becton is there. But I just thought you wanted to have some versatility. They got Bird Tucker, interior offensive lineman, so they got some good pieces. I thought they could have just potentially added more, but it's nothing wrong with this pick. And then at 16, my Washington Commanders, bro. My Washington Commanders was on the board, and they selected cornerback Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State. They selected Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State, and I was pissed about it in the moment. Again, let me rephrase it. I'm not mad at the player Emmanuel Forbes. I think he's going to be a really solid player. The thing is, when you have the most, the best cornerback according to, the pre-draft analysts. Christian Gonzalez was the best overall corner in the draft. He was projected to go inside the top 10. At 6, to be exact, to the Lions. The fact that he was even there, like, he fell all the way to 16, bro. And we passed up on him for Emmanuel Forbes. Now, again, Emmanuel Forbes is on the squad now. So, obviously, I'm going to love him, man. I'm going to root for him. I'm going to cheer him on. But you can't tell me that was a moment where it was like, wow, we passed up on Christian Gonzalez. And then he goes the very next pick to the Patriots. That's why it's like, oh my God, what did we just do? What did we could have, if we wanted Emmanuel Forbes, we could have traded back for him. Nobody was geeking to take Emmanuel Forbes. And even if the Patriots did take Emmanuel Forbes at the next pick, you got Christian Gonzalez. You got Joey Porter. You got Keely Ringo. You got other options that you could have went. I personally think if we would have traded back and selected him at 22, he would have been there. I personally think, I wouldn't even be as mad if we traded back to 22 and we drafted this guy. Because he's not like my problem is not with him. My problem is with this front office. My problem is that they don't see the problem. The problem is, instead of trying to outsmart everybody every time, just take the BPA sometimes. Especially if the BPA is the position of need. We need a cornerback. It ain't like the BPA was a receiver and the BPA was Christian Gonzalez and we needed a corner. So instead of just trying to outsmart everybody, why not just take the safest pick, man? I understand scheme fit. I do get scheme fit. All right, but Christian Gonzalez can play both zone and man. And a lot of people want to point to him. They're saying he didn't play nobody in the Pac-12. He played 2 wide receivers that went in the first round in the Pac-12. And Jordan Addison, who I think he went to USC. And I think the other guy went to TCU. Or is it flipped around? Needless to say, Gonzalez definitely played bump, man. He definitely played bump. Now, again, obviously, Emmanuel Forbes is a ball hawk. Okay, 14 interceptions and over his 3 years in the SEC. That's great. That's great. But if you want to use the excuse if he didn't play anybody, this past year, it wasn't really no good SEC wide receivers for him. When he played against Devonta Smith, he kind of got cooked. He did a good job against Jalen Waddle. He did a solid job against Jamar Chase. But the overall thing for me is the value of the pick. It's not the player. And I know I don't have to keep explaining myself to y'all, but that's what kind of pisses me off reading my comments to my reaction of it, because y'all don't listen. Y'all just pick and choose. Just because I don't agree with the pick, y'all want to get all pissed about it. Oh, one, you did the same thing last year with Jahan. Oh, when he balls out, don't keep the same energy. As if you have to agree with everything. As if you don't have to agree with everything. As if you have to agree with everything with this team. You don't have to agree with everything with this team. And then even if he does turn out to be great later, I'm going to root for him. So everybody in my comments saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. Relax, all this. Keep the same energy when he's good. I'm a real fan at the end of the day. I show real emotion because I love and care about this team. So if I don't agree with something, I'm going to speak my mind. All I'm going to say to the fans out there, if Christian Gonzalez turns into an all-pro cornerback, which I highly think he can because he's going to the Patriots, and when he turns into an all-pro corner out there, and he's top 5 in the league in the future, up there with Sauce, up there with Tariq, up there with these other guys, please don't. I don't want to hear nobody say we could have had Christian Gonzalez, because we should have Christian Gonzalez right now. But again, no hate to Emmanuel Forbes. If Emmanuel Forbes somehow see this video, I just want to make that clear. No hate towards you as a player. My problem is with Ron Rivera, Martin Mayhew. I'm not even going to exclude Marty Herney, because I don't even think Marty Herney has any say in this. I guarantee you, if Marty Herney was in Martin Mayhew's position, we would have Christian Gonzalez right now, because Marty Herney knows how to scout talent. And you want to know what's crazy? Ron Rivera, they showed a video of him driving to the facility. He says hours before the draft, if Emmanuel Forbes is there at 16, we're taking him. So he already knew who he wanted, and it's not even that he already knew who he wanted is the problem. It's the fact that he didn't think he'll be here at 16. I personally think he would have been there at 23. Now, if they come out and say, if they have came out and said nobody wanted to trade back for them for with Washington, okay, I can give you a little benefit of the doubt, but even still, I'm not giving you that much. I'm giving you like maybe 3% of benefit of the doubt out of 97, because you still should have selected Christian Gonzalez. And that should have made it even more clear of a pick to select Christian Gonzalez. I would have been happy if you went Branch. I would have been happy if you would have went Branch, because he's a versatile guy that can provide so much for you. And where is he going to go though? Like, if you draft him at 16, he's playing outside, bro. There's no way you draft him and put him in a slot. And that's not good, because I like St. Juice on the outside. I don't like my St. Juice in the slot. I like St. Juice on the outside. Kendall Fuller is too slow to play in the slot now. So now he's got 3 boundary corners. I think he's going in the slot. A lot of y'all don't think so, but I think so, because who else are you going to put out there? Yes, his value says he should be an outside boundary corner, but clearly we have 2 people occupying that spot. Make sure you guys continue to comment. I see them, but we're going to get to it when we get to viewer shout outs. So continue to comment and state your opinion on this, man. I personally I don't like the value of the pick. I don't have a problem with Emmanuel Forbes, bro. The player. Hope he balls out. Hope he turns into Deion Sanders. Hope Emmanuel Forbes come in and have 10 interceptions. I don't have a problem. I don't think nobody that has an issue with the pick has an issue with Emmanuel Forbes, the player. I think it's just the value that you took him at. I think it's the value. I think it's our issues with the front office. If you got him at 22, cool. If you didn't even take him in the first round and he somehow fell to the second round, but you don't think he's gonna make it to 47 and you traded up to like 36, cool. And I think myself personally, I wouldn't be as like passionate or like tripping about it if Christian Gonzalez wasn't there. Like, if Christian Gonzalez was gone, the Branch kid was gone, and then you took Emmanuel Forbes, I'm like, all right, okay. I probably still feel like, yeah, it's still a little too early, but who else was there for real? You had him high on your board. He has a lot of upside. All right, cool. But my biggest issue, Juan's biggest issue, I don't know about any other content creator. I don't care about anybody else's opinion. This is Juan's opinion here. My biggest issue with it is that you had the BPA available and you didn't take him. That's my issue. It's the value, guys. It's the value. That's all it is. Nobody hates him as a player. Nobody hates him as a person. Everybody's going to root for his success. And again, he can't control his pick. So we can't even be mad at Emmanuel Forbes. That's what y'all don't get. We can't be mad at Emmanuel Forbes because he doesn't control where he goes. Our issue is with the front office. But at the end of the day, I wanted to go corner. And we got a corner. Wasn't the guy that I thought we were going to get, but again, he's here. I don't hate him as a player. I don't hate him as a person. Really solid player that could potentially be turning into something good. But again, for me, it's just for the value, bro. That's all. That's my biggest issue. And I don't think y'all are hearing me when y'all listen. It's just the value. And I care about the value when the best player available is sitting there. That's all. Again, if Christian Gonzalez wasn't there, Branch wasn't there, okay, I'm like, all right, it is what it is. But the simple fact that he was I just personally think overall Christian Gonzalez is going to be a better corner. That's all. Christian Gonzalez instantly comes in as cornerback one on this team. And the reason I say that is because Benjamin St. Juste obviously can't stay healthy, so he's going to instantly be, and he wasn't a first-round pick, so he's going to instantly be number one on this team. He's going to New England. And he's going to be CB1. So that's why I just feel like longevity-wise, yeah, Emmanuel Forbes is good. He's healthy. He's a healthy guy. Like, he has a good amount of longevity, but so does Christian Gonzalez. And who overall is the better corner? Christian Gonzalez. Bro, Bleacher Report, and I know y'all don't want to put too much into Bleacher Report. But Bleacher Report gave us an F for this pick. An F. I was being average, okay? I was being fair. I said a C. I was being lenient. A C. And really, the C is only being carried by the hope that I want to have for this guy and the potential that I'm praying he turns into. If I didn't have any hope for him or wasn't praying that he turns into something great, I would give it a D. But Bleacher Report gave it an F. So let's see what Bleacher Report says about this pick, because they gave it an F, and I'm not mad at them for it at all. So it says the strengths, excellent in man coverage. They said Emmanuel Forbes is excellent in man coverage. Quick trigger to make plays on the ball and in a run game. Elite top end speed and use his length well. Okay, cool. Weaknesses: very thin. Could be bodied by bigger receivers' tendency to go low to offset weight when tackling. Mississippi State Emmanuel Forbes might have been amongst this year's top-ranked corners, if not for one detail, his weight of only 166 at the NFL Combine. A lot of teams just try to knock me for my weight. The 6'1" Forbes told reporters, "I feel like if they were not going to pick me for my weight, they'll just be making a mistake." The consensus All-American did weigh 170 at the Bulldogs Pro Day, according to Mississippi's Clarence Leger, Stephen Krennick. Forbes started all 3 years in the SEC and was the conference highest graded cornerback last year, according to Pro Football Focus. His 6 interceptions in man coverage during the 2022 campaign doubled the next best cornerback per PFF. Let's count the way the Washington Commanders made a mistake by drafting Forbes with 16. They give you 4 mistakes. Number 1, For all of Forbes' talents, he's still a 170 pound or less defensive back. And however he'll hold up all of the professional levels is in question, especially since he does play with reckless abandon. Number 2, Oregon's Christian Gonzalez, Penn State's Joey Porter, and a plethora of higher rated cornerbacks were still on the board. That's 2. Number 3, Bleacher Report scouting department graded Forbes as the 103rd overall prospect. 103rd overall prospect. Now again, these are just opinions. I understand this is just an opinion from Bleacher Report. I know you can't take everything you read from Bleacher Report with you know all of the confirmation in the world, but it is just something that you can go to as a source. Bleacher Report scouting department graded Forbes as the 103rd best player or 103rd prospect. And then 4, the Commanders had a legitimate first-round quarterback in Kentucky's Will Levis fall into their lapsing past. Will Levis, he ended up not getting picked. So that last one, I really don't care for because I think Sam Howell's gonna be good. But Ron Rivera's squad did need to upgrade at cornerback, definitely. Forbes has a good skill set, but too many other questions come into play for this pick to make any sense, especially with Gonzalez coming off the board 1 pick later. Grade F. I was giving it a C. They gave it an F. But, I mean, bro, at the end of the day, it don't matter if you agree with the pick, if you disagree with the pick. We're all Commanders fans at the end of the day. So when he suits up on September 10th, 12th, whatever, we're going to root for him. I don't think there's one fan. I don't even care if you're the hardest critic of this team. You genuinely don't want to be right about it. You don't want to be right about it. Yeah, you'll come up here, comment, or say whatever you want about, I told y'all Forbes was trash. But, of course you want to see him do good. Why? Because he's on your favorite team. That's why I don't get some of you guys' comments. Y'all are mad at me for stating my opinion, saying don't switch up, don't change when he's good. I'm going to have an initial opinion. And if he turns out to be something great, of course I'm gonna root for him. Of course I'm gonna be happy. But if he's what I think, like if he is anything less than what Christian Gonzalez is in New England, then I'm gonna be pissed about it. That's the honest truth, and nobody's gonna change my opinion about it, whether you like it or not. If I look back in the next 3 years and Emmanuel Forbes isn't neck and neck with Christian Gonzalez, shoot, matter of fact, I'm not even about to keep making the only comparison to Christian Gonzalez. If he's not in the conversation with Sauce, with Tariq, with all these young up-and-coming corners, then I got a problem with it. I ain't even going to keep making... I'm only making the direct comparison to Christian Gonzalez because we should have had him and he went 1 pick later. But if he got drafted at 16, the same expectations that I have for Jahan Dawson is the same that I have for him at 16. You're getting picked at 16, which means you are coming in to be an impactful player day one. Impactful player day one. Jahan Dawson did that, and I personally think he would have been in the Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation if he never got hurt. Same thing for Forbes. Forbes coming in, he needs to be a shutdown corner. Simple as that. You don't draft projects at 16, bro. So I'm praying that Emmanuel Forbes is that guy. Again, for the new people coming in here, I don't hate Emmanuel Forbes. I don't have a problem with Emmanuel Forbes. Hope he's great. My problem is that this front office passed up on Christian Gonzalez. That's the only issue I have. Literally. But other than that, 17, New England took Christian Gonzalez. Let's read some of Christian Gonzalez's strengths. Big, long, athletic, physical, smooth transition through his back pedal, non-scheme specific skill set. Non-scheme specific skill set for Christian Gonzalez, which means he can play in any scheme possible. So that just kills it right there. That kills it right there. Everybody that continues to say he's a scheme fit is why we took him. Christian Gonzalez can play in any scheme. They just said it right there. Non-scheme specific skill set. That's why I wasn't even using that as a trying to give y'all the benefit of the doubt for that take, for that point, specific point. They just killed it right there. They just said Christian Gonzalez is a non-scheme specific skill set. Big, athletic, and physical cornerback that is also a smooth transition through back pedal. You know I love the Benjamin St. Juste-esque corners, man. The long, big Jalen Ramsey corners that ain't gonna get bullied off the line. That ain't gonna go for nothing. And yeah, Emmanuel Forbes got heart. He got that dog mentality because he's undersized. Yes, I understand that. But you can have all the dog mentality that you want, but your physical traits is gonna show eventually, especially if you're going up against a guy like AJ Brown. Bigger receivers. Let's look at Christian Gonzalez's weaknesses, though. Let's just look at it. They says his weaknesses is overly handsy, potential pass interference magnet, gets caught looking in the backfield. Those are his only two weaknesses. Those are two things that could be worked on. Two things that could be worked on with getting more comfortable in the scheme, getting more comfortable playing at the next level. They gave the Patriots an 8 for that. Then at 18, the Lions, they took Jack Campbell. All right. Then at 20 or at 19, the Bucks, they took Kalijah Kansey. I know I butchered his name. D lineman. And then at 20, the Seattle Seahawks made a splash by drafting Jackson Smith-Njigba, bro. DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Tyler Lockett. They got Kenneth Walker back healthy. That offense is gonna be really good in Seattle, man. Seattle made two great picks, man. They got Devin Witherspoon, so they got another great corner. Then they added another great wide receiver. Seattle, man, they killed it. Quentin Johnson, wide receiver TCU out of the Pac-12, goes 21 to the Chargers. Okay, this is a guy that I'm pretty sure Christian Gonzalez faced in the Pac-12. He's a first-round talent. I don't see no SEC corner wide receivers going in this draft. So, and I know he faced Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, and Devonta Smith, obviously, and Jameson Williams, who I believe killed them. But it is what it is. Minnesota Vikings, Jordan Addison, wide receiver, USC. Another Pac-12 wide receiver that I'm pretty sure Christian Gonzalez faced. Goes in the first round to the Minnesota Vikings. Great pick for them. They got a guy to go alongside Jettis. So that's a great pick for them. And KJ Osborne. And then at 24, this is great value right here, bro. This is great value. The Giants, they traded up one pick to go in front of Jacksonville and takes Merlin's Deontay Banks. I had us taking Deontay Banks at 16. Man, I would have loved to trade it back and got him at 24. To be honest. Deontay Banks' strengths, elite athleticism with blazing speed, very physical at the jam, can overwhelm receivers, easily transitions through his back pedal. Weaknesses: need to trust his technique with it initially beaten or not. Facing throws limits ball production. Facing ball limits ball production. Facing throws limit ball production. Sorry about that. And then at 25 Bills, they take Dalton Kincaid, which I was a little confused about. So like you still got whatchamacallit? You still got Dawson Knox there for the future, but I mean, hey, I guess they want as many weapons as possible. And the Cowboys, they take D lineman Mozzie Smith with the 26th overall pick, so they add more to that defensive line. Then the Jacksonville Jaguars, they take Anton Harrison out of Oklahoma. 28 Cincinnati, they take Miles Murphy, edge. And then 29, the Saints, they take Brian Breesy. And 30, the Eagles, they got Nolan Smith, another Bulldog, another great pick for the Eagles, man. They kill a draft every year. And then last pick of the first round, Felix Aduke-Azuma, edge out of Kansas State. So that's the first round. Crazy first round. Crazy first round, man. With the trades, with people going too early, with players falling. This makes me only this more excited about what's to happen tonight. Hopefully we still see some bangers tonight. But let's go ahead and transition into the viewer shout out. So make sure you guys comment to get your name shouted out in the live. You're tuned into episode 21 of the Top of the Morning podcast. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Let's go ahead and get to viewer shout outs. Just Zay, what's good? Just Zay, shout out to my guy first in the chat for episode 21 on Top of the Morning. He says, "Sup, when does round 2 start?" I think round 2 starts at 7 p.m. tonight, I believe. 7 p.m. is the start time, I think. Jordan says, "I think we should get Hendon Hooker." Shout out to Jordan Wickline for being here. Appreciate you. I personally still wouldn't go quarterback. I think it's too early. But if they went Hendon Hooker at 47, I would not like it necessarily because I believe in Sam Howell. You know, I feel like that's too early. I think the second round is still the position that you will be able to find great talent and a guy that can come in and be immediate impact. You don't draft backups in the second round, man. Like you at worst you draft rotational guys, but Hendon Hooker's not even going to see the field. So I personally wouldn't like it. I still think that's too high for him. And Stefan Sanchez, appreciate you for coming through. He says pain. So I guess my guy Stefan Sanchez didn't like the pick of last night. Darnell Jenkins, my Cowboys fan up in here, man. What's good? Shout out to you. He says, value don't matter to me. If you want your guy, get him. And okay, see, that's your personal opinion. Nothing wrong with that personal take. But to me, again, specifically with this draft, when you got the BPA still there, I value matters all in the world to me at that point. Because again, nobody was beating your door down for Emmanuel Forbes, bro. Juris. Shout out to my guy Juris Corner. Make sure you guys go ahead and check out Juris. He says, garbage pick. Not ever going off that. Forbes would have went day 2. And they did it at 16 with the top 10 talent, all pro blue chip type talent. Everybody in our division got better. We did. That's the thing. I do think he would have been there in the later first round picks. I think if we didn't take Emmanuel Forbes at 16, I think the Giants would have took him at 25. And that's cool. That's what I'm saying. That's cool. If He goes 23 to 20 to 30, 31. That's cool. 16 for me is just too high. Too high, that's all. For me personally. The Hulk TV. He says, we needed Lamar Jackson. I would love Lamar Jackson. Would have loved Lamar Jackson. But he's staying in Baltimore, man. Got paid last night, and we'll talk about that to close out the show, actually. Jared says, hey, Juan, if you don't mind me asking, Sauce Gardner played no top wide receivers his whole career in Cincinnati. The best player was Williamson against Bama and locked him. So the nation he played against, no. One is stupid. That's irrelevant. Jahan wasn't the best receiver on the board. Jahan isn't a blue chip. He's solid. He still ain't worth the 16th pick. Just because he played well doesn't mean it's a good pick. Jahan's not blue chip neither. It's Forbes. Truth of the matter is last 2 years, we could have drafted blue chips players and BPA at the position of need. We drafted a day 2 pick at 16 over a top 10 talent. Enough said. Door Gunner. Appreciate you, Door Gunner, for coming through. He says Fuller might be gone next year anyway. Yeah, Fuller's on his last year of his contract. So, I mean, maybe Forbes could slide in next year and be cornerback 2 or cornerback 1. Says I'm fine with the pick. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't dislike Emmanuel Forbes. I just don't like where we took him. Says you have to have someone who wants to trade up. They might not have had a good offer to trade out. Yeah, and if you don't have a good offer to trade out, Door Gunner, that's where you take Christian Gonzalez. I think you take Christian Gonzalez regardless of the fact. But if your main goal is, I want to trade back and still potentially get Forbes or somebody, and nobody wants to trade with me, let me take BPA, especially if BPA is cornerback. My biggest thing coming into the draft is that with everybody that wanted to select BPA is that when we got to 16, the corner, the need wasn't going to be there. But when your BPA is also your need, you don't pass up on that. You don't pass up on it. Simple as that. Shaking my head. A solid player. Solid players don't win championships. He's a day 2 pick. He would have slid to the second. No one else was taking him. If it was stupid, poor value, he's a day 2 pick. I think, honestly, if he would have got past Studs, I think the Giants may have took him. Dallas could have been interested. But the thing is, 25, 26, that's dang near day 2 picks. Like, that's good value for him right there. Instead, the Giants killed it and got Deontay Banks. Amon Ra says, Forrest fits our scheme and is a ball hawk. He gets turnovers, CG doesn't. Compare the stats. All right. Yeah, okay. Emmanuel Forbes is a ball hawk. 14 picks over 3 years. Great. But would you rather have a shutdown corner for the next 10 years or have a guy that creates turnovers here and there? Because, I mean, the best ball hawks aren't creating turnovers every play. So it isn't like every single time he's on the field, he's creating a turnover. No. So, with that being said, would you rather have a 6'2", 200-pound shutdown corner for the next 10 years? Or have a good player, but his main trait is catching picks and forcing turnovers? But we know this is NFL. These players are too talented. Turnovers aren't happening every single play. Let me know. I would much rather have the shutdown corner and Christian Gonzalez. Yeah, he may not get picks. He may not get interceptions. But look at St. Juice when he's healthy. When St. Juice is healthy, he don't get picks. And yeah, of course, I would love turnovers. But he's always right there in position. He's always right there. PBUs, right? PBUs. Forcing the ball out, breaking up the passes. Forcing 3 and outs. That's just as good as a turnover to me. So I would much rather take the shutdown. Truthfully. That's just my take though. I know y'all may be different. Gonzalez doesn't like to tackle. I guarantee you he's going to be a tackling machine in New England. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you Bill Belichick not about to play with him about that. All that I don't like tackling. I don't like coming downhill to be in contact involved in run plays. I guarantee let Christian Gonzalez try that with Bill Belichick. I guarantee you he won't see the field. So all that he don't like to tackle, he'll be out of that phase once they get to training camp. And I guarantee you Christian Gonzalez is going to be a tackling machine. Mario Wilkins. Appreciate you for coming through, listening at the top of the morning. He says, I'm fine with the pick. I don't want to hear any more complaining when he starts snatching interceptions. The kid is good. His numbers speaks. Okay. Again, nobody's disagreeing with y'all. Nobody's not saying Emmanuel Forbes is not a ball hawk. We understand that. We understand he's a talented guy. It's just the value. Again, but I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I said it too many times. I'm not going to try to refute your opinion or try to get you to understand my opinion. It's cool. Think what you want. It's all good. And we can have a healthy back and forth. Again, this is a space where we don't have to agree, but just be respectful. That's all. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to agree. They like Forbes better. He was the best player available on their board. I mean, yeah, clearly. I mean, when Ron Rivera was in his preview video, his behind the scenes on the way to the jump. I mean, if he coming into the building saying that Forbes is there, we're taking him. I know that he was their BPA on their board. I know he was their BPA on their board. CJ, appreciate you, CJ, for coming through, listening to the top of the morning. CJ says, Gonzalez is all hype, and that's why he dropped lower in the draft. Wow. You think so? You don't think Christian Gonzalez is all that, CJ? Tell me why. Why do you genuinely think that? Why do you think that? Why do you think he's not all that? Why don't you think he's all that? I'm curious. Juris says, we're not a zone team. Stop with this scheme, but bull job. Technically, we're a zone team. Jack Del Rio wants to run zone. Benjamin St. Juste is a better zone corner than he is man. Obviously, Forbes is a better zone corner than he is man. And we wouldn't have got rid of William Jackson if we was a man team. So, I mean, we are a zone team. At least according to Jack Del Rio and his scheme, how he wants to run it. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a solid corner, but you don't draft a guy at 16 who can't shut down a wide receiver one. Okay. Shout out to Tay for the comment. CJ says, Forbes was successful in zone and man, by the way. Tay says, Forbes couldn't have been in the second round or third. Can't be all hype when the league around him has him two corners I'm in the draft. But okay. No one was checking for Forbes. We played much zone. We played more zone than man. William Jackson was a man corner, and look how he turned out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're technically a zone team. Technically, that's Jack Del Rio's scheme. We're not a man-to-man team. But Christian Gonzalez, again, can play both. Tay says, there's like 3 to 4 corners better than Forbes still available on the board. CJ says Ramsey and Slay said they were great picks. You fans are bitter, and it has nothing to do with football. Again, CJ, nobody is. I know already said I'm not gonna repeat myself, but nobody is mad at the player. The player. We're mad at the value and the selection of the players that were available still. And I don't care what Jalen Ramsey has to say about the pick. I don't care what Darius Slayer has to say about the pick. Terry McLaurin fries Darius Slayer every time. So what does he say? What does that mean to me? Jalen Ramsey, yeah, he's a top corner in the league still, but he's coming off one of his worst seasons. He's a top corner. I mean, and it's cool to have the better corners in the league giving you props, but what does that mean to me? He said the same thing about a lot of other people. I'm pretty sure Ramsey liked the Christian Gonzalez pick the New England. So that don't mean nothing to me that other corners in the league think Emmanuel Forbes is a good player. Christian Gonzalez is also great in zone. Is great in zone corner. Y'all are tripping. Yeah, exactly. I literally just read it. He can play in any scheme. That being Christian Gonzalez. Joe Rockhead J. Shout out to my guy Joe Rockhead J. There's no one draft board that everyone follows. Value is an illusion. BPA is an illusion. That's true. With the first half of your comment, I think that everybody's draft board is clearly different, but value isn't an illusion, nor is BPA an illusion. I think that's something that some teams strictly follow. Ron Rivera may not follow that, but there are teams out there that strictly follows BPA and value. Definitely, i.e. the Eagles. So I agree with your first half of the comment, but the second half of the comment, people actually, there are teams out there. Just because our team don't do it, don't mean there aren't teams out there that do it, that doesn't do it. Tay says they're getting hyped for a guy who can never be on a number one wide receiver. Low key, not low key. Appreciate you for coming through, listening at the top of the morning. He says, I'm hoping Forbes was picked to fit the scheme of what we run on defense. I'm hoping he pans out, bro. Dawson is like the fourth best wide receiver. He's solid player, and he got the potential that would be like Dawson when Garrett Wilson is on the board. True. Thank you, Tay. Thank you. Tay is making the point even more clear. Jahan Dawson's pick it's the same, but it's different because there were players better than Jahan on the board still, but the glaring number one best player in the position class wasn't there. Like Garrett Wilson wasn't there. If Garrett Wilson was there at 16 last year and we didn't take him, I would have flipped I would have flipped more than what I did. But the difference is that makes this feels worse, that the best cornerback in the draft class, according to a lot of these draft analysts, was sitting right there. And that's the problem. Tay, great comment. Great comment by Tay. Mario Wilkins, thank you again. He says, they said Gonzalez wasn't going to fall to us. Why did the other 16 teams pass on him? I mean, there could be a lot of reasons why other teams pass on him, but did that stop the Patriots from doing that, from taking him? No. Joe Rockhead J says, didn't we learn from Josh Norman and William Jackson III that you pick what fits your scheme, not just grades? True, Joe Rockhead, but again, CG, he can play any scheme, man. That's what makes him so good. And he's so young too, bro. He's 20. He can play any scheme. That they emphasize that he could play any scheme out there. That also makes it just, another reason that we should have drafted him. Let's see. Joe Rockhead J says if Forbes ball out, I expect an apology from you and Jers. That's all I'm saying. You're not gonna get an apology from me if he balls out, because I'm not saying he's a terrible player. I'm not saying he's a terrible player, bro. I'm not coming up here saying, oh my God, Forbes is trash as a player. I know he has talent in his system. I know he can go out there and play at the next level. The thing is, I personally, Juan Gotti, myself, I value picks and players, and I value BPA, especially when it's your player of need. You know what I'm saying, Joe Rockhead? So that's why when you said it's an illusion, it may be an illusion to you or other people, but Juan Gotti, how I see this thing, BPA is not an illusion. What's the other thing you said that I just brought up? Dang, it just slipped my mind. But to me, those are criteria that I personally would follow. Value. That's just me though, Joe Rockhead. Ain't nothing wrong with us disagreeing, brother. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my take. Simple as that. But I'm not gonna apologize. I'm going to root for him. I'm pretty sure Juris is going to root for him. I'm pretty sure Tim is going to root for him. I'm pretty sure Pedro is going to root for him. I'm pretty sure Rio is going to root for him. I'm pretty sure Louis T is going to root for him. I'm pretty sure Ed Oliver is going to root for him. I'm pretty sure you all is going to root for him whether you like it or not. I'm pretty sure Tay is going to root for him. Just because we don't agree with the pick doesn't mean we're going to be. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong. This is my team. I love my team. I would much rather Emmanuel Forbes be the best corner in football and we win the championship, do all that, than be right about him being trash. But in the first place, I don't even think he's a trash guy. I just don't like the value. Again, because I'm a guy that values value and that values BPA. That's just my personal own take. It may not be your cup of tea, and that's totally fine. Door Gunner, appreciate you for coming through. He says, we worry way too much about what others said. Let's see what he does. We draft good players all of the time that doesn't pan out. Chase was the consensus number 2 overall pick. And look at him. Juris says, Forbes is going to be solid. Nothing more than that. But like I said, solid doesn't win you championships. Blue chips does. And you had a chance to get a lockdown all-pro blue chip type player. He may be good and he may suck. Joe Rockhead says Dawson isn't a blue chip player. Neither was Terry McLaurin. You want to trade him away? I think you must be responding to somebody in the comments, Joe Rockhead. Yeah, I think he's talking to somebody in the comments. Tay says, we got Terry in the 3rd round, bro. Value matters. True. Again, everybody is gonna be different. Different approach. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's approach is different. I like I said, I'm a guy that values value in BPA. Joe Rockhead isn't, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with having different opinions. But again, he's a fit. Joe Rockhead, my guy. Christian Gonzalez was a fit too. Give me one reason why Christian Gonzalez shouldn't have been the pick at 16. And again, if Christian Gonzalez was way gone like I thought he was gonna be, and like everybody else thought he was gonna be, I wouldn't be as like up about why did we pass on Christian Gonzalez. But the fact that he was there is giving me a reason. So if y'all could genuinely give me a reason why taking Emmanuel Forbes at 16 over Christian Gonzalez is better, I shut up. But I don't think there's any reason. What are you gonna say? He creates turnovers? Okay, would you again, like I said, would you rather have a guy that creates turnovers here and there? Because you're not gonna get a turnover every single play, or would you rather have a shutdown cornerback for the next 10 years? Jerome Hazelton, appreciate you for coming through. Shout out to you for listening to the top of the morning. He says, I'm like him. He has 3 years of production in SEC covering top wide receivers. If he can gain 15 pounds, that'll go a long way. Gonzalez would be good, but Gonzalez is not a scheme fit for us. Fellas, please, just go look him up, bro. Like, he can play anywhere. That's what makes him. That's what makes him much better, bro. He's not a guy that can only stay in one thing, guys. Gonzalez can go anywhere. Let's see. Gonzalez is not a tackler. Joe Rockhead. I think you probably heard what I said, but I guarantee you he gonna be a tackler at this level. I guarantee you he is. He ain't gonna play that with Bill Belichick. He probably could have got away with that in one of these other cities, but in New England, he ain't. Tell Bill Belichick you don't want to tackle. I guarantee you Gonzalez don't see the field. I guarantee you he don't see the field. I guarantee you if we would have drafted him in Washington and you told Jack Del Rio and you told Ron Rivera, oh, I don't want to tackle. I don't want. This the same guy that benched Cam Newton for a tie. Just saying. Tell him you don't want to do your job. Guarantee you not playing. And that's gonna hurt. I guarantee you Gonzalez is gonna be a good tackler at the next level. Can't wait for AJ Brown to go 150 against us. Gonzalez only has 1 year production in Oregon. Okay, he's 20 years old. He has a lot of upside. Again, a lot of the guys that he checked, they went first round, or at least 2 of them went first round this year. I don't think there was any SEC wide receivers that went first round this year. So let's see. Forbes will be covering fast wide receivers. Yeah, I mean, he runs a 4.35 or 4.38 or something like that. I expect him to cover the fast receivers. Big Simple 422, I appreciate you for coming through. Make sure you guys go ahead and check out my guy, Big Simple 422. He says, one thing they said about Christian Gonzalez is that he's scared of contact and don't like being tackled. Jerome Hazelton says, I still trust Ron. Why do y'all trust Ron? What's great defense players in the first round has he drafted? That's a nice point. Chase hasn't panned out yet. Jamin's okay. He's not worth the 19th overall pick. Make sure you guys shout out to my guy Joe Rockhead J. Make sure you guys follow with Joe Rockhead J. Y'all heard him, man. Y'all see what he says. Hit that like button, y'all. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Joe Rockhead J, for popping that up. Hit that like button for your boy Juan Gotti, man. Hit that subscribe button. Like, share it out so you can be featured in more episodes at the top of the morning and all the other content on the channel. Thank you so much for that, Joe Rockhead J. Jerome Hazelton says Steve Avila tonight. I wouldn't mind Steve Avila. At all. Especially with Jordan Davis and then they just drafted Jalen Carter. I would not mind Avila at all. Happy birthday. Shout out to Protect. Yes, sir. My guy Protect Sports Tone. Birthday today. Make sure you guys go over there and wish my guy Protect Sports a happy birthday. Happy birthday, my guy. Let's see. No two draft boards are alike. There's no exact BPA for all teams. Chase is our only hope of being great. We got our guy. Shout out to Donnell Jenkins, Cowboys fan. I'm trying to get. Hey, Donnell, man. Get me in touch with some Cowboys content creators, man. I want to bring some Cowboys content creators. I know you're my plug when it comes to that because you got all the Cowboys, all the Cowboys content creators. I tried to reach out to Mark Holmes. He hasn't got back to me. So maybe I probably should try to shoot for somebody that's a little bit more smaller. Let me know all the Cowboys content creators. I want to get a round table going with the NFC East and stuff like that. So help me out. If you want to come on and represent the Cowboys, I mean you could too, but hook me up, my guy. I know you got the plug-in with the Cowboys Nation over there. But he says, we got our guy. We didn't want him. Micah texted the front office this morning. That was a pick that made Micah happy. Yeah, I saw that video. Micah Paws has been excited about y'all pick. Let's see what else y'all talking about. Casper Hill, what's going on, Casper Hill? Appreciate you for rocking with me. Listening to the top of the morning. He says, what's good, Juan? What's good, Casper Hill? Shout out to my guy. Big Simple says, we never have a problem with number one wide receivers on the team because Benjamin St-Juste is a legit shutdown corner. We always get burnt by the number twos wide receivers whenever we face somebody. I agree. Because St-Juste battled with Jay Jettas. The thing is with St-Juste is his health. If St-Juste can stay healthy, bro, he's on the verge of becoming a top corner in the league in the future. He just has to stay healthy. I love me some St-Juste, man. I'm just glad we didn't get Will Levis. Tay says they said Sauce wasn't a tackler. He had one of the best. That's what I'm saying, bro. I swear, bro. Let him come. Let him say he don't want to tackle in New England, bro. He's not. They not going for that, bro. Dev, drop him off. Yo, Juan, what's up? I'm a big fan. What's good, Dev? I think we have a bit of a pick your poison situation last night. Just hope we grab the right person. I think Christian Gonzalez should have been the pick. You know what I'm saying? But again, my problem isn't with the player Emmanuel Forbes. I'm just personally a fan, a guy that if I'm running a draft, I value and I value BPA. If these scouts are saying best player available is Christian Gonzalez, and he was projected to go 6, and you telling me the only reason why teams are passing up on him is because he can't tackle or he doesn't want to tackle, not that he can't tackle, but that he doesn't want to tackle, and he falls right into your lap, you can't pass up on that. That's my problem, is the value. I think, honestly, if we traded back, Forbes would have been there. Or if Forbes wasn't there for a potential trade back scenario, or you don't think he was going to be there for a potential trade back scenario, 1, take Gonzalez, or 2, trade back and get Deontay Banks. Simple. But again, I'm rooting for Forbes. I want Forbes to be successful. I don't hate him as a player. I don't think he's trash. It's just Juan is a person that values value. I value value in the sense of drafts. And especially, it's no way you couldn't value BPA right then and there, especially when the best corner in the draft was still there. That's all I'm saying. Joe Rockhead J says, even when we disagree, I love you, brother, and the work you do. Let's rock the rest of the draft. And that's all I'm saying. I love each and every one of y'all. We don't all agree. Some of us agree some of us agree with me. Some of y'all don't, and that's totally fine. Because at the end of the day, come September 12th, who we rooting for? We're rooting for Washington Commanders. So whether you like whether you like the Forbes pick, whether you don't like the Forbes pick, whether you're in the middle, we're rooting for him at the end of the day. We want him to be successful at the end of the day. So That's all that matters, man. Again, that's how life is, bro. You're not gonna please everybody. Everybody, you're not. As somebody, it don't matter what you do. Somebody's gonna have a problem with it. Somebody's gonna like it. Simple point. Simple point to back up what I just said. My YouTube videos. Some of y'all like them. Some of y'all don't. You're not gonna be able to please everybody, bro. And that's what the draft is. That's what it is. Every year, you're not gonna be able to please everybody. Somebody's gonna have something negative to say. Somebody's gonna have something positive to say. You're not gonna all agree on the same thing in unison. Simple as that. And that's all I had to say about that. 2 up, 2 down. Appreciate you for coming through. He says Gonzalez was not the best corner in the draft, though Witherspoon is. Witherspoon was gone at 5. I said best player in the draft available. And according to a lot of scouts, pre-draft, Christian Gonzalez was the best draft. Now, our best player on best cornerback. Now, obviously, there were some guys. Let me go actually look at Mel Kiper's. There's some people that had Devin Witherspoon ahead of him, but a lot of people, literally, majority of the guys had Christian Gonzalez going 6 to Detroit. Let me see. So right here, Mel Kiper, he has Devin Witherspoon on at 6, and he has Christian Gonzalez. Let's see, Christian Gonzalez following after. This one right here has Christian Gonzalez going first. It's a reason he failed. He's not that guy. All right, y'all. All right. So for the people that don't think he's that guy, all right. For the people that don't think he's that guy, give me a legitimate reason why you don't think he's that guy. Is it really the tackling? Because tackling could be worked on. Again, if it's that he's afraid to tackle, that could be worked on. All right, that's just an instinct that he has to get over himself. But if it's that, I can tackle, I just think I'm too cool to tackle. I'm too much of the guy to tackle. Too fancy of a guy to tackle. I ain't gonna get dirty. If it's one of those, I guarantee you that won't fly in New England. But if that's the biggest problem, then I think that's something to work on. His competition level. Sauce Gardner played at Cincinnati. They was talking about his competition level. Look what he did his first year. You know what I'm saying? And Christian Gonzalez was in the Pac-12. He faced 2 first-round receivers that got picked last night. So competition level isn't that big of a thing. I don't care if corners tackle. He's not a ball hawk like Forbes. Forbes is a guy that creates a lot of turnovers. Great. That's something that we lacked. Okay, cool. But again, these are professionals that get paid just like the defense. Do you think every single time we step on the field, Forbes is gonna gonna catch an interception or something? No. So with that being said, I would much rather take the safer pick and take the overall better corner in Christian Gonzalez that I know could be a shutdown perennial 6'2", 200-pound cornerback for the next 10 years alongside Benjamin St-Juste, who's also going to be a shutdown corner. All he got to do is stay healthy. Then a Forbes. But again, I don't hate the pick. I don't hate him. I don't have a problem with him. I don't have a problem with his talent. Juan is just a guy that values it. You know, that is just a value person. That's the last time I'm going to say. But other than that, I'm gonna call it a day. Lamar Jackson got paid. All right, got paid at $260. I think it was a $185 guaranteed. Shout out to Lamar. But overall, man, this draft was good. This is a good first round, man. As far as like suspense, bro. This was a really surprising good first round. Like, again, the trades, players going earlier than what they should have went. Some players fall into later round, like Will Levis is still not picked. Branch is still not picked. Joey Porter Jr. is still not picked. Hendon Hooker still not picked. And a lot of people thought he was going to go first round. I knew he wasn't going to go first round. A lot of people thought he was. He's still not picked. He got a ton of great talent still available on his board, man. This is, to me, this is where it really goes. The middle rounds is really the position that is really what carries your draft class. So Washington, we need to hit tonight, man. Give me a guard. Give me some type of interior. Shoot, give me a playmaker at the tight end position. I know Ron loved the tight end position, but hell, I wouldn't mind if we did that. But other than that, man, it's me, your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys Monday morning for episode 22 of the Top of the Morning podcast. See you guys later. Enjoy the rest of the draft for whatever team you like. For my Commanders fans out there, whether we agree or disagree on the pick, you already know we're going to be behind them come September, so it don't even matter. Appreciate y'all. Subscribe, like, comment. See you guys next time. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you popped.